Welcome to Kleshna's Jewellery Making channel. I'm thrilled to have you with me today, where we are going to be making a rather beautiful Swarovski crystal heart amulet pendant. Let me show you some of those that I've already made. We have a rose AB here with the Swarovski crystal pearls surrounding it. We have a pure AB crystal, and my own personal favourite is the olivine AB with these beautiful iridescent crystal pearls here. Now the one that I'm going to demonstrate on is an amethyst one. However, if you want other colours, we have a million of them. Let me just show them to you quickly. Okay, here are just a few of the selection of many Swarovski crystal hearts that we carry here at Kleshna. Aren't they beautiful? Look, we've got blue zircon, light vitriol, medium vit, another one of my favourites, which is heliotrope, cyan and black diamond. Now let's begin on how to make this wonderful jewel. These are the ingredients that we will need to make this fantastic amulet. You quite simply will need a sterling silver chain, some size 11 seed beads, some size 4mm Swarovski pearls, 4mm bicones, and of course the fantastic 18mm Swarovski crystal heart. Right, let me put my glasses on because I'm blind as a bat without them. God, I think I'm going to look like Mr. Magoo shortly. Right, now we're going to make this piece. Take off, I would say, probably a meter's worth of wildfire, which I prefer, or fireline. Thread up your size 12 beading needle. I have a vast supply of size 12 beading needles because they're my favourites, because they go through absolutely every bead. And you're ready to start. This is what I love about doing beaded jewellery. Okay, what we're going to be making as the foundation for this is this little fellow here. So if you can have a look at this, you'll see it's quite a simplistic form. Right, and I'm going to whip that out, take the little pin away and show you just how I do this. Always take, by the way, folks, a little tip from me, always take the needle to the beads rather than the opposite way round, which is the beads to the needle. So you pick up 3 seed beads, 1 bicone, 3 seed beads, you sort of fell them on their sides, and one of these lovely Swarovski mauve pearls, pull it through like this, right the way through until, I'm trying to do it so that I can keep you seeing it, wrap it until you have a length of thread like a tail in your hand. Wrap it around your finger like this, go all the way through and pull it, hold it like that and pull this together. And then what I would recommend that you do is you go all the way through it again. Dear little thing it is here. You've got these wonderful, I adore these lovely black diamond rainbow seed beads. In fact, I would strongly recommend that you have a large stash of these because they seem to go with absolutely everything. Okay, so I've gone round and I've come back out the other end. You can see I've got my tail here to hold on to and my thread is coming out through the top here. And then quite simply, the next thing I do is I pick up another pearl and I repeat that another 10 times. So what I would recommend that you do is that you go away and you make 10 more of these little units, put your video on hold or your DVD on hold or your computer on hold, my, how many devices do we have here, and come back to me when you've done that. Welcome back. You've clearly gone away and made your 10 units, haven't you? Well, what I'd like to do is to show you my 10 units and show you how it should be looking. Come and have a look at this. Okay, there they are sitting in a row. Now what I will have done to stop it gapping, if you've got lots of gaping holes here, then I would suggest that you go back and you just re-thread your thread through them. A little bit of troubleshooting for you there. Right, now what we're going to do next is to create our circle with this. So we've made the 10 units. You can see I've ended on a bicone side. There's my little tail. This is why the tail is quite useful. I'm going to pick up one more bicone and I'm going to go in at the top of the very first ones that I did. I'm going to pick up my work, and by doing that I'm creating a closed loop. I'm going to go up the other side here. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Trying not to obscure your view. And then I would suggest that you go around here again, my watchword, reinforce, reinforce, reinforce. There we go, and down here. Now one of the other things that it's very important to kind of bear in mind is the apertures of these beads are not very big. So I'm going to move round by, say, 2 beads. This sounds completely bonkers, but as you do more and more beadwork, you will actually appreciate and understand my reason for doing this. Hold on. You see, look, I've got a little bit of a gapping hole there, a gaping hole there, and I don't want that. So the way always to cure that is just go up and round and down a few more times. Okay, and I do this so that I move around so that I've got a less holy place to start. Doesn't that sound strange actually, really, doesn't it? A less holy place to start. Okay, right, there we go. And we're going down here. Tilly the dog has just pitter-pattered around here. Hello, darling. She's such a sweetie. Right, now we're going to start on to the next part of this. I'm going to just move my seed beads forward a little bit. Just having a little yawn. Isn't it wonderful being a dog, eh? Right, what I'm going to do is backstitch. So I'm going to pick up 5 of these seed beads on my needle, and I'm going to go behind the bicone and through the next bicone there. Can you see what I'm doing? Now on the next move I'm going to pick up only 4 of the seed beads, and I'm going to go through the last bicone, the last seed bead of the first loop, and I'm going to carry on all the way around here, which won't actually take me very long, until I get to the last one. So you always use the last bead of the previous unit that you have made, and then you kind of backstitch through the one in front. Hold on. 3, 4. And if you've got a young child, it will teach them how to count up to 4 very quickly, very adequately, 10 times. There we go. That's it. 1, 2. I'm just going outside of my little runway of pink beads here, folks. There we go. Almost there. Until you get up to the last one, and you might well have guessed what the procedure will be for doing the last unit on here, because if you can imagine, you've got the beads that you've done on the very first one, and you've got the beads that you've done on the very last one, so you're actually only going to add in 3 beads on that one, but you're going to, well, hey, I won't keep you in suspense very much longer, because I've almost got round to first one I started with. Hold on, go through here. Come on, you naughty little bead. Right, it all goes very quiet and silent now, doesn't it? Hold on, that's being very badly behaved. Also, another little tip actually I'm just going to tell you about whilst I'm wiggling my way round to the beginning here is, if ever you get tangled up in your thread, or if ever you make a wrong move, the best thing to do, instead of trying to put your needle and thread back through the beads, is to take your needle off, pull the thread out, and then start on your way again, because otherwise what happens is that you start splitting the cotton, and when you start splitting the cotton, it's an absolute nightmare to come back. Right, here we go. This is my penultimate one. Right, I'm now going through here, and what I'm going to do is that first bead I put on here, I'm going up through. Can you see that? I'm picking only 3 beads up now. 1, 2, 3. Because I've got bead 1 here, or bead 4 here, and bead 5 here. And the reason we're doing it and I'm going to go through, and I'm going to go up here along to the 3rd bead in that group. Can you see? And then I'm going to pull it round. So what I've done ostensibly is I've gone around the whole thing and I've gone up into the 3rd bead. Now we're going on to our next part, which is very simple. We're going to pick up the middle bead all the way round of each group of beads. You can kind of weave in and out and turn and weave and turn and weave and turn. Sounds like some wonderful barn dance, doesn't it? There we go. And we're going to do this going around twice. I'm just going to get that. Oh, someone's come to the door. Pitter patter. My dog is now going to go completely bonkers because she wants to see the dog walker. Aren't dogs lucky, folks? Those of you out there who've got dogs will understand the benefits of dog walkers. Unless, of course, you've got time to take your dog for a walk yourself, in which case you're far more saintly than I am. Right, okay. Now, can you see here, I have wiggled my way around more than once. There we go. So I've now made this into what looks like a little hat. And I'm going to add a new thread, because I have a personal hatred of using a thread that is too long, especially when I'm filming, because it makes it extremely difficult for me to have my hands in camera. Okay, so what I'm going to do to take these 2 threads off is use my wonderful thread zapper, which does that. It's got a little element on the end. There we go. That's finished part 1 of it. And then what you need to do is you will lock your amulet in here so that, sorry, I'm doing this in a very ham-fisted way. Let me just do this like this. So that the hole on it, which is, let me get a little pin, is here, is in between 2 pearls. Can you see that? Fantastic. Okay, I'm just going to stop here a second, folks, whilst I thread up another needle. Right, I've threaded up my additional thread on the needle, and I'm going to give you a little valuable, well, what I find is a valuable lesson, and that is how to insert additional thread onto a piece. You know, a lot of people advocate using vast lengths of thread, but all I think they do is get tangled up in yourself, and it's a complete nightmare. So let's come down and have a look at this. I'm going to part of it which is a little bit further away from the part I want to be at, which sounds horrendous, bit of English grammar there, but and what I'm doing is I'm going basically to retrace my steps. So I can always hold that bit in my hand there. I'm going back up through this part here. There we go. Oh, hello. That's run away with me. And indeed my amulet has come out of the middle. Hold on, let's just pop that down just to show you that this happens to everybody. Nobody is perfect in this world, especially me. Right, let's move that around a little bit. There. Right, okay, let's go back. There we go. And what you need to do in order to keep your thread in place, remember you've got this long bit here, you can always chop that piece off later. Let's move all the bits that it can get caught on my thread out of the way. And do basically a circle, because by going round, retracing your steps, it anchors the thread in place. So what you need to do is to reinsert your thread through the back, thread back about 2 or 3 moves before the middle part of your heart here, and put the thread round, leave your tail so you've got something to hang on to, and you go up here, over here. So basically you're doing a little square dance on your piece of jewellery here. And then what I'm going to suggest you do is you go along the top of these pearls here. Oh, now one thing I don't think I did tell you was that when you are inserting your heart, you need to make sure that you insert it. If it's an AB heart or a foiled heart, you have to insert the heart into the piece with the backing down. So this is an AB Siam heart. Can you see there's a little coating on the back of this here? When you're inserting that into your little basket, put it in that way so that the proper side of it is facing up. This here is a light vitrail heart, which has got a foiled backing on it. You put the foiled backing down. Hope that makes sense to you. Right, what I'm now doing is I'm working my way back around all of these pearls, hold on, until I get to the center point where I have the hole in my pendant. Can you see that? And I am going to sew through the pendant so that it keeps the pendant on. Now I'm going to pick up one of the last, let me bring these into camera. I'm going to pick up one of the last few pearls that I have here, keeping my thumb onto this. There we go, drop that down. I'm going to pick up 12 to 14, I would say, of these. 3, 6, oops, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. I think I'll pick up 14. There's a little whimsical 14 today. Bring all of these little seed pearls down to the bottom here. Pick up another pearl, and you're going to come up and over the top and pop the other pearl through into the top, which helps to frame your heart beautifully. And then I'm going to retrace my stitches on this again through the back, up through the pearl, all the way through these seed beads, at the top. Oops. That's right, it will all go back into place, I promise you. There we go. And up and over the top here. There we go. Through the top of this little seed bead here. It's very difficult to go around corners with seed beads actually. Although I have a nifty thing, a nifty friend, and that is actually a round needle, which I will introduce you to at a later date, because we don't really need it for this particular piece that we're doing here. Okay, so we've gone through that twice. I would even suggest that you go through it a third time, because remember, this is the part that is going to form the loop through which this beautiful pendant is going to hang, and you want it to be very secure and very enduring, I think is perhaps the best way of describing it. So I'm always paranoid, because I am actually a professional jeweller and I do this for a living. The thought of, perish the thought, I think is probably what they would say, of anyone bringing back a piece of my jewellery, which I have made with my hands, that has gone wrong. Right, okay. So we've got that there, and you're thinking, well, this looks a bit shaky around the edges. So what we're going to do now is we are going to take our thread and we're going to go, let me put that through like that so you can see what I'm doing, up through here, our pearl, and we are now going to go all the way around the edge of these pearls, finger and thumb in the middle, all the way around the edge of these. There we go, like this. And by doing this, we will be bringing our amulet pearls in and gathering those in. Now you've noticed we don't have to do the same on the pearls, because this is only a little amulet, unlike the socking great big 40mm one that I've made previously, which if you haven't had a look, do have a look. It is on my on the sort of Kleshna site here. And I'm now going to go around this lot again to reinforce the gathering here that I've got. Come on, get in there, needle. Naughty needle. There we go, that's it. Oh. Can you see? It's pulling that in beautifully, so that it makes it like a gathering part here. There we go. You know, it is sometimes beneficial to have a pair of pliers with you. And I think probably we've gathered enough. There we go. So we've then got our little top bit here, this bit here. I think I'm going to go back and finish off down at the bottom here. Hold on. This is where your concentration takes over and you stop talking on your video. Right, now can you see I'm turning this on its side and pushing my needle back through those stitches there. I'm unleashing my tail, which I will chop off very shortly, and I'm going to, in order to secure this thread, I'm going to go back through some of my gathers around the back here. So that it, and then I'm going to do a half hitch knot, which I will show you in a second. It's a bit like a blanket stitch basically. In fact it is blanket stitch, hold on, let's go around so that we're not up where the knot is. So you've got too much going on there, we don't want that to happen. There we go. So I'm going to go underneath the work, I'm going to put this around here, and I'm just going to pull it through, and I'm then going to get my little zapper. I'm going to zap that off there, and I'm going to zap that off there, and then going to, very exciting part this is now, I'm going to pull that bit up here, clear away the debris, and I will show you that you have made, along with me, this rather beautiful, there we go, amulet. There's my pretty sparkler here. I hope you've enjoyed doing that with me today, and I hope that we can meet again very soon to see another one of the Kleshna jewellery making creations. Bye bye.